They have had such a spat of bad luck and poor form ever since joining APAC South, but here they are against one of their oldest rivals from Southeast Asia. These guys have been playing in Pro League forever together. It always seemed to be Elevate and Invictus. And on the last legs, Elevate will try and hold on to their own destiny here on their map pick of Oregon, but it is not going to be easy. Angry X is still subbing in for BG Man. Elevate have not been in top shape, but there are no second chances any longer.
This is it. This is do or die for Elevate. They need to dig deep and pull out a stellar performance here on Oregon to keep the series alive. Now to dig into these bans, I think the Flores ban in particular from Invictus, very big one. Certainly really shines through on Oregon how strong Flores can be with those Rotero drones. Does make, in particular, holding Laundry, that bomb site particularly tricky because the classic elbow extension can be just easily cut to pieces by those Flores Rotero drones. So I think it's a great ban. Everything else, pretty standard here. As you already identified, that Nomad ban is a pretty big mainstay for Elevate. It does just facilitate their playstyle pretty nicely on defense.
It certainly does, and Mirror ban also pretty common here. Mirror completely changes the way you would hold that basement, and Elevate don't want to deal with that. Invictus always ban the Wamai. So once again, a fairly predictable operator veto does leave us with that Thatcher in. However, once again, this time though, Raven, Elevate don't necessarily have to bring it. They have that Maverick in as well. And I think if they were given the choice of both, they're probably just going to take the Maverick most of the time. He's got nades. He's got, in my opinion, a better loadout. And he does the job. Now, we're seeing finally for the first time, I think, from Elevate all day, this fabled thinker, Thailand's sweetheart, she appears and then you press the button and then you go.
It is Onigiri and it is the LMG that he's brought as well. Look, I'm excited to see if it actually has an effect for them. I don't know. I'm really, really curious how this first half is going to go for Elevate. It can be tricky to attack on Oregon at the best of times. Think about the pressure that is on them right now. It's just going to make that even harder. And conversely, IG, sure, pressure on them. They need to close this out. But they're the ones sitting pretty 1-0 in the series right now.
5 seconds left.
We know exactly where that pressure is, and it's certainly not on Invictus. This basement hold, they've got a quite exciting strategy. All kinds of operators that I would not want to be playing against. Ella with a shotgun, Clash, and even Hysterics running the FMG9 on that smoke. I wouldn't want to be playing against any of these things. Elevate have got their work cut out for them here. And so far, it doesn't look like they're going for that heavy blue take. Keeping their options open.
Definitely keeping their options open. Couple of tricky operators ahead of them though. Luna on the Clash. The Ella as well for Speakeasy. Certainly going to be frustrating to deal with. So they are going to have to be thorough and precise with the way they deal with this. Now, Luna is looking to be a pest around the rear stairs. It's a very heavy big tower push here from Elevate to start off the rounds.
Very unusual shield placement there from IG. Luna's been downed. Really good usage of the nade there from Napew. Must have been the culprit there. I don't think Elevate have realized, though. They surely would have gone through and killed him, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Invictus have peeled away, managed to get Luna back up on his feet. Though the pivotal thing is he's low HP. One bullet to the leg should be enough.
Also really good progression here. Oh, that Toxic Bait perfectly placed. Yeah, really good progression so far that Elevate has actually made in through Bunker and Blue. The line of sight in particular, really critical. Hysterics has gotten to a pretty aggressive position near the door though. He's got a shield to protect. Ooh. It's just really... The big thing here is what does Elevate do to spread this out? They kind of need to do a little bit more than just taking Blue. Hysterics is certainly going to keep them off those rear stairs for as long as possible.
He's got such a good operator for this position as well, doesn't he? And once again, that very deep gas babe. Now Hysterics gets aggressive. Luna's going to support. This is a good play from Invictus. But after they don't find anything, they peel back once again. Now Hysterics playing Harry Potter. Once again in a dangerous position. Elevate. Onus is on them to start stepping forward.
Really is. They're going to have to start making some deep progress here. Of course, still no opening pick. Luna easily could have been it. Wasn't capitalized on. Really could come back to bite them. 40 seconds to go. They are setting up for this execute. They have not checked for Hysterics. This is huge.
Oh! And he goes big with the double! IG have set themselves up for success, but Elevate fight back. Angry X and DCH now in the 2 versus 4. Not a lot of work to be done for them, and a nice C4 from Jordan. Speakeasy on the close angle's gonna finish it. Invictus on the back of Hysterics 2K start strong here on their opponent's map.
Yeah, really great start. And look, Elevate, speaking of great starts, you know, they actually started that round pretty decently. Very unfortunate they didn't capitalize on the down of Luna on the clash. But no, look, they did really good progress through bunker. They just couldn't capitalize otherwise. And just in classic Hysteric style, sitting in a corner, undetected, has given a massive 2K impact. That really is what opened it up to give IG that position to win. Yeah, I think this is really going to be a tough map for Elevate at the end of the day. Invictus have continued to prove that they are proficient on it.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as
I also think that Invictus here has kind of smelled the blood in the water, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
they're a shark, and they have sensed weakness here in Elevate. They know that the normal Elevate, right? The everyday chomping through APAC South Elevate, that's a hard one to beat. But this is a wounded beast right now, and Invictus are ready to take advantage.
I think it's a really good point too, because, I mean, something that I was kind of saying at some point as we're leading into this map was just, you know, IG are the ones that are one up in the series while they're still feeling that pressure because they need to close this out. You can get a little bit, I don't know whether relax is the right word, but you know, you do kind of just chill out a bit. You know, the intense pressure isn't there as it would be for Elevate. That being said, as you were saying, you know, they are kind of like sharks sensing that blood in the water. It looks like they are not going to let up at all. They want to just go hard and try and close this out, not even give Elevate that chance to bring the series back. And I think that's really admirable and obviously a good call.
Yeah, it's funny with pressure. It's a bit of a spectrum, isn't it, right? On the one end, you have motivation, like pressure that motivates you. And on the other end, you have pressure that stresses you out. And I think that we have here Invictus is feeling this pressure, motivating them and fueling them. They know that they're not far off making it back to a global competition. Remember, they went to SI, but they had a fairly pitiful performance there. And they're looking to redeem themselves. Elevate, on the other hand, they're feeling this pressure, and surely it's negatively impacting them.
To agree, that is such a missed opportunity for Speakeasy there, but at the end of the day, at least he is still alive himself. Now, after this first minute, Elevate have just been very thorough in trying to get this small tower control. They've started to enter in. Beautiful smoke babe again,
Oh my God.
coming out from Jordan. That was just really big because it did hinder that frag grenade throw. And I can't believe we're already halfway through the round. It just feels like Elevate have yet to make the biggest impact with this map control.
Might be an opportunity here from the kitchen door, however. Still top floor, though, for Invictus. Oh, big
Ooh.
opening picks, though, Raven. This could be... Oh, no! Napew, man. You can't do that to my heart. Hysterics, though. He senses something, and he's on for the flank here.
He is. I think he is definitely going to catch an AP. Not before Jordan does, though. That is an incredible shot through the hole created by the Maverick himself. Elevate do still have the man advantage, and they do still have a minute on the clock to try and get something set up. That breach in through to dining is certainly going to help. Gives them that opening to be able to run through and set up a plant right here. And Hysterics is looking to still get aggressive over in the main lobby.
Hysterics is a slippery snake. Jordan as well, on the back of Luna, looks to be making a play. No gases left. 30 seconds to go. Oh, Luna just dodges those bullets. Elevate have man advantage, and they are starting to force down this plant. There should be plenty of info, though, for Invictus. That's a lovely wall bang, but the plant is secured. Retake scenario. Hysterics shut down. Jordan and Luna now on for the retake. and this actually is working out fairly well for them. Luna Metal has a strong aggressive position, but Onigiri shuts him down, traded back. Jordan might not know, but it's a 1v1. DZH has to clutch this. Elevate have been going through such a hard time. They can't let this slip through their fingers, surely not. DCH has to make the play. Jordan fakes it! Oh my god, DCH! You are toying with my emotions, but surely there's no time now. Jordan has to stick it, and DCH can clean this up. A close round for Elevate, but one that they can take in their column.
Oh, that did get a little bit scary there for DCH. Jordan did a great job at almost clutching that out, not going to lie, but really, really important round for Elevate in the big picture here. Just to give them some confidence back, stop some of this Invictus gaming momentum. Yeah, really important that they got that one. On top of the fact, it was kitchen dining. You know, it's generally not the second pick that teams will go for. Bit of a tricky little play or decision from IG that has been thwarted. So, yeah, good job from Elevate.
Yeah, and like you're saying, maybe Invictus won't be too upset about that, but a round win is a round win, and I think that the situation here for Elevate is the fact that every single round here is a mini confidence boost, and they need all the puffs of confidence that they can get at this point, because it's what they thrive on. We always talk here on the APAC South broadcasts and the APAC playoffs broadcasts. I mean, I feel like we just talk about it on every broadcast. It's so topical at the moment, is that Siege is a mental game. And by that, I don't just mean you have the wildest and most advanced 300 IQ strats. No, it's about performance. And performance comes from your brain as much as it does your body, right? Like, you have to be geared up and ready in your mind for a match. And Elevate just haven't been today. And it's the reason why they're not currently qualified for the major. And it could be the reason why that spot, that final APAC major spot, goes to Invictus.
Yeah, like, it's certainly a great point, and certainly a deep topic to discuss, you know, is some of these aspects that do separate good and great teams. Mental aspects are certainly a big topic. Now, on that, Elevate really do need to ride the wave here. Oh, Sapper, he's caught Speakeasy rotating into the closet. Now, he does have a rotate back into games, but he can hold this angle to trap him, and I don't think he's quite holding it tight enough. In fact, Speakeasy's just going to get out of there.
Aggressive strat from IG. We've seen a couple times before from various teams. I feel like Invictus likely to be punished for this, though. Like, even though Speakeasy managed to get out safely, well, okay. I guess the punish is actually the other way around, and it is Angry X, unfortunately, yet to find a kill this game. And Elevate, well, at least they can get that refrag, and it is the smoke going down. So on the balance of things, Raven, I'd say that in terms of util, that is a win for Elevate. Even in terms of fragging capability, you've taken down Speakeasy and lost Angry X. I would definitely be happy to take that one.
Still a lot of IG players spread out everywhere, though. I mean, Hysterix is holding this position on the lower floor here, and I'm pretty sure I saw an outline of a player in the basement. Maybe it was Joe. Didn't quite catch exactly who it was, but yeah, IG playing a very spread out strategy, and it is seemingly causing some difficulties for Elevate to really clear this out. And this is where it gets deadly. Joe steps up and finds Sapper. This is quickly falling apart for Elevate.
No! You've got to check those corners on Agiri, and because he doesn't, this numbers advantage slips even further. Invictus 4v2, but we've seen 4v2s slip away before. Apu, had he hit those shots, might have had a serious chance here, but now he's low HP, and Hysterix is hunting. Oh, sorry, his head for just a moment. That nade, though, is going to say, see you later, Hysterix. 2v3 now for Elevate. 2v2. Jordan, what on earth are you doing? It's just Luna and Joe, but all they've got to do is take down Napier.
And Napier being one shot as well really means he has to be perfect in this scenario. He's got 20 seconds. Oh, he can hear that with Luna. Oh, unfortunate. Oh, just on the wrong side of the wall. 15 seconds, Dev. All onto Napier.
That read was almost perfect, but now the crossfire is held. Invictus hold their heads high, and they take the lead once again here. 2-1 up.
Just generally, really good round again from Invictus Gaming. So spread out on their defense, and Elevate just really struggled to shut that down. Joe, in particular, did a pretty good job on a couple of instances there to find some big picks, and Invictus are proving to be tough opponents so far on this Oregon defense. They now have Laundry back up, which was easily their most convincing defense win. So Elevate, maybe they just need to hold on to these kind of third pick sites like kitchen dining, kitchen meeting to try and get through this half.
Yeah, well, if they are unable to get a defensive kitchen either attempt, it's fine, because they'll end the half 4-2. And while it's not the 5-1 we saw on Clubhouse, I think that would be... oh, actually, no, we ended up with a 4-2 on Clubhouse. So I guess that, there you go, you know, Invictus... I think they'd be fairly happy here with the 4-2, and I think it's quite realistic for them to achieve that.
Do you think that is realistic and achievable? So hopefully they can do so. Luna reprising the role on the Clash. I think it hasn't had, you know, a massive direct impact, but it's certainly a pain, and just it facilitates so much for IG. You know, the info that Luna gets in that, and he is certainly one of the most proficient shield players in general that I've seen in this level of Siege. It's always dangerous. Is this a rush?
Oh, please. But IG is so ready for it, and Hysterics finds the opener. Traded back again. Elevate come out on top, and the smoke has gone down. This is really, really good for Elevate. They could straight up just abandon this rush at this point, and it wouldn't even matter. They've got the advantage. They could rotate. They could just play the long game here, but they are going to flash out Luna. This is an opportunity for them to now take control of Blue.
Yeah, really big. Good outcome for Elevate on that one, to have taken out both Hysterics and Jordan. And on top of that, Hysterics being the smoke player. It's a massive time burn and plant denial that is just not going to be utilized. IG have just defaulted back. They're going to reinforce 90 now. And yeah, this is a really good first minute for the round from Elevate.
Very, very early control here, but Luna's getting very aggressive onto that Yana. Onigiri push back. Now Luna has Pillar back again. There is a Zafia on the cards for Elevate. They could well use that. Oh my god, Joe! How you missed that? I have no idea. That was millimeters off. And look at the confidence from Invictus. They're taking such aggressive positions to retake the advantage. Luna finds one. Puts that shield right back. And we do have a 2v3 now. Invictus are caught off guard and finished off, put down. What a rush play from Elevate.
Yeah, I really like that from Elevate. Don't know whether that was just like a conscious, all right, guys, time to stop getting bullied, time to be the bully. I don't know, but either way, that is what happened. The rush play did work out, as you pointed out. As it happened though, Dev, you know, IG were pretty ready for that. Two players aggressively pushed up in blue, but just didn't work out. Elevate won their gunfights, and they've won that round. Really important one to get.
And that 2-4 half is now looking just as likely, but I think almost a little bit more threatening now is Elevate. The fact that they have shown they can right their wrongs on some of these bomb sites, even the ones that were won dominantly by Invictus. We're going to go back to Laundry Supply now. I would maybe back Invictus to win this on the reattempt, but then they would have to go back to Dorms and Elevate. Now, I would back them in to maybe even get that better on the second attempt. This has definitely been a hot and cold Elevate today, but I think they're starting to warm into it. And you know, every single step they take towards reinvigorating their mental fortitude and getting their heads back in the game, it's going to improve their gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we have to remind you, you know, they've had to also deal with the fact that BG Man had internet issues and they've had to re-rotate in Angry X.
So tilting.
Yeah, a bit tilting. Until the fact, poor Angry X, maybe he hasn't even had a chance to warm up, you know, like he could have come into this super cold, not expecting to play. Really hard to say the scenario around that. So they've had to come up against a lot of adversity to continue to try and fight here. They got a really good opportunity. If they manage to get a 3-3 half,
Oh my god.
oh no, that's not gonna help.
Spawn peeking smoke, hey? I mean, as soon as I saw Hysterics prone there at the barricade, you knew something was going to go wrong. I thought he got droned though, but no. Napier, the opening death once again. I like the fact that we're seeing Invictus play aggressively on the back of all this.
I feel like that's just such a good way to deal with some of these kinds of play styles. Is the teams that are so used to being the aggressor, being on that front foot, that sometimes it can really throw them off by getting up in their face equally as aggressive. So yeah, look, it's worked out well this time around. Poor Napier actually hasn't had the greatest of days, honestly. He's been such a big impact player for Elevate throughout the entire stage. But yeah, it feels like he's struggled a little bit, particularly in this series. But still plenty of siege to go, minute 50 on this round. They're still hard pushing this blue to try and get control of Elbow.
Ooh. Jordan trying to find a pick via Luna on the clash, but those stun grenades are the perfect counter here. IG are forced back. Believe the shield that Hysterics is playing at Bricks has now been destroyed as well. But IG are just going to fortify the site. Another shield protecting them on the bomb site. Oh my god, Hysterics is so close to finding a pick here. And the gas is good. He goes so aggressive, but loses the fight. Hysterics is certainly hit and miss with this aggression. And now Luna is alone in blue.
Does equalize the man count as well, so Elevate have found a bit of an opening here. Jordan has rejoined Luna to try and compete and still hold this position, so Elevate are going to have to continue to work hard to flush that one out. You can see Onigiri's health ticking away, Luna being such a pest on that clash. Coming to this final 50 seconds. That reinforcement goes up, and this means IG have some pretty solid positions. This is going to be tough for Elevate, but they've got 3 flooding pillar right now.
What a malleable defense from IG, moving the shields, moving the rotates, and moving the reinforcements. But Elevate have found another down. It's the clash on the floor, and Speakeasy is just waiting to come for the res. Jordan to cover now, and time is ticking away. Onigiri finishes off what was left of Luna. We have a line of sight in blue as well. And IG are feeling the pressure. 15 seconds to go. Jordan still has the C4. It could be nuclear. He takes down one. Joe is in the fray as well. And he finds the last kill. Invictus on the back of that. They make it work. What a round.
Incredible. Yeah, they did make that work really well. That felt like a very evenly contested round. You know, a very back and forth kind of round. It started with the aggression from Hysterics, and then Elevate felt like they were really answering back, and they took that pillar control so quickly towards the end of that round. It was a hard one to read, but yeah, IG, just their teamwork, fantastic to close that one out, and some really sharp shooting. They're really going toe-to-toe with who have been regarded as pretty prolific fraggers themselves in Elevate.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're seeing in this game. Like, Invictus are completely fearless. You know what I was saying before about how Invictus, Luna told me, you know, the way we want to beat Elevate in the past was you don't give them fair gunfights. Well, I think Invictus have now said, nah, like, scrap that. Let's back ourselves, like, swing, you know? And they are losing it sometimes. You know, I'm thinking about Hysterics getting a little bit too cocky, peeking blue. But, you know, he's 5-5, so he's died every round so far, but he's also got a kill, one kill for every round that has been played. So this risky playstyle is keeping Elevate on their toes, and even though, you know, they've been able to punish it a decent amount, Invictus is still playing into it, and Invictus is still benefiting from it.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Very true.
5 seconds left.
I was just wondering what they're about to do up in this attic, but it was just simply opening some holes. All good. Nothing special going on there. Something that is quite interesting to see is something that Elevate have always kind of done is sticking the Twitch pick. Not always DCH, believe me, he's played it quite a bit, but they are a team that loves to play a Twitch, and generally they do quite a lot of frags with it. Can't say I've seen the shock drone have the biggest impact, but it's one of those things that maybe we don't always catch a lot of on broadcasts.
Yeah. Do love a good Twitch drone. One of the things I was saying the other day to, I believe it was Guz, one of the reasons I've been loving playing Twitch recently is you can just go through the map and like take out all these default cams. Makes it much harder for the defense to roam. You can really take that map control earlier. Never underrate how much damage you can do just by taking away that early information. Now, while it is early in the round here, IG have already made some changes to their setup. I'm loving these like malleable setups, like these active defenses. Like, for example, there, Speakeasy had a rotation into Closet, and then he's like, no, okay, you know, they're not pushing this side, I'm going to reel it.
Oh, no, it's missed. I thought that nade was going to be huge, but it missed. And yeah, look, last time, IG were just so prolific on this roam, they weren't really able to be easily shut down. I believe it came to a 2v4 scenario. Oh, Napier, he's gone deep into Attic. I don't think IG are all aware. The drop, though, you're right, it was heard by Jordan. That's a bit of an L.
Yeah, unfortunately, no sound cover there for Elevate. Napier could have made a big opening there, but unfortunately, a little bit desperate from him. He hasn't been quite on form. I'm liking this, though, from Jordan. AngryX actually lands that shot with a 2x, no less, and Joe goes down as well. Big picks for Elevate. Hysteric still holding in server, but he loses his fight as well. What a comeback for Elevate. 4v2 now. How IG going to play this? We've seen constantly during this series, when they're down, they get aggressive. Will Elevate be prepared for it?
Wait and see. Speaking of, Speakeasy does try to get just that little touch extra aggressive on the white stairs. They've got 40 seconds to try and make this back, and he's found one. That is big. It does make this much more manageable for both Luna and Speakeasy.
That said, Luna is completely cut off here. The thing is, Elevate just don't have the info. They don't know where these IG players are, so they can't make the right decisions. And now with just 20 seconds left and time ticking away, Speakeasy's completely locking up Sapper. Now AngryX has to step up. Luna's going to take him down. There is just no way this is going to work for Elevate. They don't have the diffuser. They have to go for these kills. And Speakeasy can clean up the last two. Invictus, what a 2 versus 4 comeback to close the half. 4 rounds to 2.
Absolutely just incredible. I had so much faith that was going to happen. I have to be honest, Dev. That just felt like every second that passed by that IG were going to win that round. And they did. That 4-2 half is so critical for them right now. 3 attack rounds and they are going to the Mexico Major. This is huge for both of these teams because Elevate, they need to dig deep. They need to find any ounce of energy they can summon up here to try and salvage this series.
That's it. What a hard road it has been for Elevate, but for Invictus, they are taking step by step closer. You said it, 3 rounds they're going to need in this attack half to book their tickets to Mexico for the 6th major and be the final APAC team representing Singapore and Indonesia as well at that event. Incredibly exciting for Invictus, but can't celebrate too early. Elevate, they're a dangerous animal at the best of times, and cornered now. I do wonder, what will they be able to do with their backs up against the wall? It has felt like we've been painting a grim picture all day long, Raven. The day started with us, some of us predicting that Elevate were going to win the opening game, and I mean, things have just gone so far downhill since then.
Yeah, it's just, I can't help but, I don't want to harp on it too much, I really don't, but I can't help but feel like this is just so unfortunate that Elevate had to play this series with AngryX. Because what made them so good in Stage 2 was just the addition of BG Man. They were able to build form off that, and it's just really unfortunate that we wouldn't get to see them play this out with him, but that is just how it is sometimes. It's the nature of video games. Sometimes tech issues happen. So anyway, they have...
Look, it's true, I will say, though, this is like the roster that won Stage 1.
Yeah, but it was also the roster that was flailing at the start of Stage 2. You know, like, I guess there's so many ways to paint that picture.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That said, we are seeing AngryX start to come into his own a little bit more here as the map continues. It's Napier, who we've said is the quiet one. Uncharacteristically, he's usually the far and away standout player on Elevate. He just hasn't been himself.
No, he hasn't. They've really had a day, but IG, they're going to progress here. They're starting to take this freezer control, push down the stairs quite aggressively with the Gemini, really getting them the info required. So something that's really good from IG, some seriously good pressure to put on the defense. It means that at least one person, looks like it's Onigiri in this instance, has to have their attention focused to ensure that freezer player doesn't get too deep and make too big of an impact.
What's the execute idea here for IG? So far, they're just covering all their bases, opening up every single hatch, a little bit of pressure on every single ingress into site. Can't help but feel like this is going to be a lobby freezer push, just judging by the fact that Jordan's down in laundry with the diffuser. Though DCH does find the opening. Now that is a big pick.
Yeah, massive pick onto Joe. Just under a minute now, but Joe's main job mostly done. At least he's got that hatch open into electric. They've got a beautiful drone here just sitting on the bomb chassis. It's going to give them all the info needed down that hallway to pillar. 40 seconds remaining. IG are looming in various positions. A bit of a hard one to read here for Elevate. They're going to have to really split this focus and resourcing and figure out how to counter this push. Looks like it's majority freezer laundry. Here we go, 30 seconds.
Speakeasy trying to make this entry work, but he's shut down. And how does Onigiri win that? He finds two. And IG start to fall apart. Hysterics goes in. Jordan finds one. Hysterics somehow lands that flick. Jordan! What is this for Invictus? Angry X comes in last minute to sub, and he has to clutch it. He does! Surely Hysterics can't win it! Elevates! Thank God for Angry X!
Oh my lord, what a round. And speak of the man that's had to save the day to a degree, it's Angry X. He saved that round. He's saved Elevate from staring down a 5-2 scoreline. It is now 3-4. That is a much more comfortable position. And of course, importantly, only one round away from them tying this up. It suddenly makes it feel a lot more manageable.
Yeah, man. Look, 3-4 is not too bad here for Elevate, but you know, it's a long road to winning this game. I think that even pushing overtime is not enough. I want to see Elevate just have an out of this world defense half, but that wasn't convincing, was it, Raven? Like, yeah, it was an early man advantage for Elevate when that execute came through, but then once again, nearly, I believe, a 2v5 or a 2v4 maybe for Invictus. Angry X had to clutch that. Like, in another world where he just barely doesn't, this is a 5-2, and Invictus is another step closer to that major.
Yeah, I totally agree. It definitely wasn't convincing, but at this stage, they just need to take rounds any way they can until they can just hit some kind of groove. It feels like we're seeing flashes of what we would expect from Elevate, just general flashes of their strength, but round to round, it seems to change up. They just need to find some stability here. Got a big opportunity to tie up the scores with this Dorm's defense, and that would certainly be a bit against the grain because that first half did feel firmly like IG's.
Oh no! I don't think I've ever experienced more pain watching someone throw a Valcam out a window. There you go. There's your comic relief for a moment. This is a bit of a serious game. You know, a bit of a long-term rivalry between these two teams, both playing for a spot at international competition. But at least we get to have a laugh.
Yeah, always got to find the humor in these kinds of matches. Does split the tension a little bit. Wow, Onigiri just got heavy tagged. Didn't quite see where that might have been from, but certainly not ideal in the first 40 seconds.
I'm just thinking, like, there's no gun that does that much damage in one bullet, except potentially, like, a DMR, but there's no DMR here on IG, so that must have been, like, 2 bullets landed in long range. Like this aggressive hold from DCH, just like what we saw from Invictus with the trophy shield. Looks like Invictus will bite. Looking to go for a master take. Jordan, however, putting some pressure on Attic. Now, with this player on the boost box, Angry X could deal a lot of damage. It's a difficult position to flush out. That said, first pick has gone to IG before the trade comes through, though.
Pretty good trade, given that it's on Speakeasy. You know, you really don't want him to have a chance.
Oh.
That is a dirty angle from Angry X. Oh, and this is a big round from Elevate right here. They are standing up. They want to tie this out.
And they're looking like they might be able to. Hysterics just around the corner now from Napier. Not having the best game, but it's just Hysterics left. Napier, surely he wins this. He does! That's the confidence he needed. And Elevate, believe it or not, tie up the scoreline 4 rounds apiece.
Is this the turn? Is this the turn, Dev? Of course, it has been 2 rounds on the defense half, both successful for Elevate. Kitchen meeting is where they could finally find a lead in the series. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they ever led in the first map. No, they did not. So it would be the same, or has been the same here. They may finally get a chance to hold a lead. And importantly, really peaking at the right time here. They're getting closer and closer to match point.
Not if Elevate have anything to say about it, at least not an Invictus match point, but a map point here for Elevate is only 2 rounds away. Now, we've seen, Oregon is a situation where it's like, you know, you're probably going to win your laundry defense. If you're not, maybe there's something wrong there. You're probably like 50-50 on your dorms defense, maybe like 60-40. But it's these off sites where, like, if you can be winning all 3 sites on Oregon, like, that is really, really good. Like, you are probably going to win that half and probably win that map. And that's really why this is a big moment now for Elevate. Like, if they can make this work, if they can win here on Kitchen Meeting, then suddenly that pressure flips squarely onto Invictus. And I'd honestly put my money then on Elevate, probably coming back and winning this whole map outright, sending us to map number 3, which would be Cafe.
Gotta love when you see Napier on Pulse Shotgun hanging out at the armory window. Tell you what,
yes.
That is an ominous sign. But fortunately for him, IG have all spawned away from him. They're all hanging out over at the big tower.
Bit unfortunate that Napier won't get the chance to do the classic Aces maneuver, jumping out that armory window. A bit of an APAC classic, that one, or maybe he will. Oh, he's so tempted, but not close enough. He's going to play it safe here. I hope we get it at some point. Like, maybe Invictus will rotate back and go for, like, I don't know, some presence on Master. I really hope he gets to make it work. Come on. Let's see it. Napier. Oh, no, he runs away.
Oh, no, he's going to drop the hatch, though. He's going to go for the door peek. He's going to find it in time here, Dev. Doesn't hit the shots, though. Not enough of them, at least. He's taken Speakeasy down to 30 HP. Look, it's certainly better than nothing. Could have maybe lined up his shot a little better. I think Speakeasy was on the move anyway. Has ended in that way. IG, they have full tower control right here. They're going to go to work onto this wall with the Maverick, try and get that open. Onigiri certainly is going to do everything he can to slow this down.
Yeah, Napier has a really good position here with the cardiac sensor, but they seem to know about his position. I think there was a drone. Of course, these track stingers will make it difficult as well. Quite hard for him to shoot all those, especially while he is watching for a potential player swinging him. Now, good breach coming through from Invictus. Napier actually does have the opportunity to deny the plant through a C4 up the hatch. Should that hatch be opened, of course, he can do it himself with the shotty. There's the opening pick. Angry X. We put a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and he's stepping up.
Yeah, you love to see it. I always love seeing those sub-players come in and just do a stellar job, and stellar job is what Elevate is starting to do with these defenses. Sapper has stepped up and taken out Luna. They have all of the info. Napier is under fire from Joe. 30 seconds. IG are fighting back here, Dev.
3-on-3, even man count. That said, Elevate have strong positions. This hatch is not open above the objective. Joe looks like he's not going to breach it. 20 seconds left, and this time is sticking away. Elevate have the advantage. They don't have to move. It's on Invictus. DCH is barricading up the site. 9 seconds to go, and IG are going to try and brute force down the bottleneck, but Sapper hiding in kitchen. Joe to force this plant down. Hysterics has to cover. He does for the first one, and the second one! Invictus! Counting their lucky stars, they made that work.
Incredible, and a big misplay from Elevate to not cut off just the kitchen presence. Like, I think I saw on the outlines, and I could be wrong, honestly, but it looked like both of them just pushed down the kitchen hallway to the door, and then Hysterics, wheeled around to just cover that pantry wall. I don't think you can even call it pantry anymore. That's a bit of an old call out, but the wall that goes into meeting. And that's incredible that Invictus has been able to bring that back out. And probably, again, a bit of a tilted for Elevate. It felt like that was their round.
Really, really did. The fact that Hysterics was allowed to find both of those is just crazy. And sometimes these games do come down to just winning your ones. That's what we saw from Hysterics. You know, excellent placement, excellent teamwork. But when you've just got to cover your teammate, you've just got to cover him. And Hysterics stepped up to the block, and Invictus are a round off match point here, Raven. Now, while Elevate do have the opportunity to now go Laundry and then go Dorms again, if they can repeat their success on those two sites, they will be on match point of their own. But I don't know if Invictus is going to let it slide that easily. I think on the reattempt here, they'll have a lot more to show.
Do agree. And I guess stepping back a little bit, you know, that was probably the defense that you would expect Elevate to have lost out of the 3 sites to hold. So, yeah, if Elevate can replicate what they did in the first 3 rounds of the half, then we can expect them potentially go forward to match point at 6-5, and it could all come down to that tertiary 3rd site choice. But we'll wait and see what happens, because IG have been pulling out just some incredible rounds of Siege, all playoffs.
I will say, Invictus's Laundry supply attack was good. They got themselves into a winning position, then Angry X clutched.
That's true.
Let's see if they can set themselves up again for that. The main operating difference is Invictus have brought the Ying this time. Now, Luna was picking Lion in the past, teased out the Gridlock last round, and here we have Ying. I swear, I've seen so many Laundry executes with Ying, like, and they're 50-50, right? Like, sometimes you blind all your teammates and lose, and sometimes you just completely pick apart the objective. I do wonder which one this will be.
So both Elevate players getting safely back through Freezer. Looks like Hysterics was ready to be hot on pursuit. They're even going to use the Yana Gemini to just chase it out and just make sure this player isn't standing to be aggressive. It is DCH that is now holding that one down for Elevate. And again, it looks like a very similar push overall for IG here. Looks like they are wanting to take that Freezer control. And the good thing about Freezer control is it does give you flexibility. If you end up taking Bunker and Rear Stage, the Freezer, you know, it's like supplementary map control. It helps. But likewise for Laundry, you need the Freezer control to make the Laundry execute. So it's a pretty good place to take. It does give that variable opportunity in terms of your attack.
I wonder how much damage Onigiri... Oh, no damage is how much Onigiri can do here in Freezer. Thanks for finishing my sentence, Speakeasy. Because last time Onigiri got a double.
NS in the chat as well. Certainly was an NS from our perspective. That is tough. 45 seconds to go. That is Elevate losing.
Here it comes.
Big impact player. And as you said, here comes Luna on the Ying.
What can he do with the Candelas? Are they watching the drop? Punished. And Sapper shuts him down. It looks like that was all a distraction. And the actual push here for IG is from Freezer and Front, but they carve through Elevate. Hysterics on the drop, and Angry once again is fired up and ready to cover. It's just him and Napier, but Napier can drop the diffuser. Jordan goes down. Speakeasy's found 2 kills. And he needs to find 2 more. Goo in his foot. Napier shuts him down. Elevate once again. Tie the round count.
Oh, this is starting to get really tense. Oh, that round culminated in just such high-pressure gunfight moments. Incredible from Elevate to step it up. It really feels like their energy has, pun not intended, but I'm going to say it anyway, elevated in the past 4 rounds.
That was totally
I don't know what,
intended.
it's something about these Oregon defenses. They're starting to look really good. Of course, Invictus is still putting up a really solid fight, but this is a really big position. Elevate winning this will push forward to match point, and I don't know. This is getting really hard to call how this might go.
It certainly is. I feel like once again we just saw Invictus kind of take a bit of a lead and Elevate step up, and you know, believe it or not, it was the 2 guys we've been ragging on all day. It's Angry X and Napew, who just had a massive round. It was in fact Onigiri who was shut down early with no impact, and he's the one top fragging. So I think in the second half of this game, we've started to see Elevate not only look a lot more comfortable as you'd expect on their defense, but start to gain a lot more confidence and show that in the risks they're willing to take and just in the determination that, and the conviction they're having in their fights.
10 seconds left.
Absolutely. I'm starting to really feel how tense this is, Dev. I don't know about you, but I smell awful right now. I'm sweating buckets. This is unbelievable. And again, let's remind you, this is for the Mexico Major. In particular, this is for Invictus. They get this map. They book their spot. That is just absolutely huge. And on the other hand, Elevate have had it on a silver platter for two times. End of the stage in regulation. They had managed to pull out a 3-point victory, even a 2-point victory against Invictus Gaming. They would have been there already.
I mean, let's count the number of times Elevate have had a chance to book their ticket to the Mexico Major, right? Like, yes, there was that Playday 7 of APAC South. All they needed to do was beat Invictus, the bottom team, and they couldn't. Then there was, of course, just earlier today against Dam 1 Kia. They couldn't do that either. Now they're given a 3rd opportunity. Surely they can't bungle this.
Surely. Now, Angry X did get a nasty pick from a really great vault angle last time he was up here holding in attic. Looked like IG was set up to counter that this time, and fortunately for him, he has backed away, isn't trying to contest that. This is a really good early push for attic control here.
It looks like IG is just given a lot more ground this round. Elevate looking to play a little bit safer. I wonder whether that's the play. You give Invictus an inch and they'll take the mile. But that said, it looks like it's not so safe after all. Elevate can play sight and still make these aggressive plays. Speakeasy has, all things considered, been shut down.
Really important play to shut down, I tell you what. But they still have a lot of the utility that they need to make this work. Though Napew on a massive flank up Armory Stairs. He's managed to find 2.
How? How is this happening? How is Elevate just pulling the rabbit out of the hat? IG, now 2v4 once again. How many 2v4s have we seen, Raven? And it never tends to end well. Look, they all end up close, I'll give you that.
I don't think I've ever had such little faith in teams with man advantages closing out rounds. There's something about it, this APAC playoffs in particular, all across the bracket. It's happened a lot. IG have certainly been the victors in many of those situations. They've got 30 seconds, Dev. They've got a pretty good split of positions. Can they make this work?
Joe's really got to be the pivotal one. Jordan somewhat trapped. He's got to make that drop into pit. He tries to mask the sound with a grenade, but he is spot on the cross. Onigiri's actually been taken down, but not out. Jordan hoping for the peak, and he's given it. Joe can finish. Sapphire, it's all DCH in the 1-on-2. He wins it. Elevate, for the first time in the series, they take the lead, and now they're on map point.
Oh my lord. This is not going to be good for anybody's heart rates, or this is just absolutely incredible. Boy oh boy, it's going to come down to this 3rd tertiary bomb site. This is what we were kind of talking about a couple of rounds ago, that Elevate could lock in Laundry, could lock in Dorms. And here we go. They have to try and fight for this map win here in Kitchen Meeting.
Yeah, man, this is. So I mean, what did you say? I can't remember exactly what you said. This is bad for people's heart. This is certainly bad for my throat. I can tell you that much. I don't know how to breathe when these teams are keeping me on the edge of my seat.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused
And
by
in
attackers.
what we hyped up to be a pretty serious rivalry has certainly delivered. The thing is here, right, Elevate on the cusp of finally winning a map, pushing forward to Cafe. But they've got to go to that tertiary site. They lost this last time to Invictus, albeit in a close 1v2. Hysterix pulled something off that he really, by all rights, should not have done. Can Elevate dig their heels in? They've just bounced back 2 rounds in a row to take match point.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left.
I am sitting on the edge of my seat for this one for sure. Elevate, they have really summoned all of the strength they possibly could to get through this map, and if they do, they really, really have a great chance. Going into map 3 certainly is going to do a lot for their confidence to carry the momentum from map 2 in towards that. And on the other hand, IG, they need to push this to overtime to try and avoid having to fight through another whole map to get to Mexico.
Yeah, IG have always been pushed hard by Elevate. They already lost earlier in the bracket to Elevate on Cafe. In fact, if anything, that puts so much extra pressure on Invictus right now, knowing that if they lose this map, Raven, they've got to go back to a map where Elevate already beat them just 2 days ago.
Unreal. First minute down. Very little action so far, but IG again setting up for a very similar push to last time.
Drop the diffuser.
Mostly big tower. Onigiri has unfortunately just disconnected. That's a bit of a feels bad.
Oh no.
But IG, the progress here is solid. They're going to start to work on this restage wall.
You see, IG is very, very aware of a potential person downstairs ready to make a play. In this case, I believe it was Onigiri who disconnected. This is so gutting now for Elevate, but hey, a 4v5 is not impossible. IG are setting up well. They're not going to take any chances here. But honestly, I still back in Elevate here. They have a serious chance. DCH has an impact nade. He could actually impact into tower in the late round and go for a big flank.
I think maybe also just got droned out in the server room here without realizing as he was on his Evil Eyes or just on cams in general. Speakeasy looming at the kitchen doorway here, Dev. I feel like IG have started to rotate their push to facilitate maybe a bit of a kitchen take. Or maybe Speakeasy just on distraction. Either way, it's starting to get very scary for Elevate. They've got 30 seconds. Angry X continuing to step up.
The majority of this push is going to be down on the meeting side. It's just Speakeasy over in kitchen, but no, the funnel up the kitchen hallway. Luna, how have Invictus let this 5v4 become a 5? Oh my god, Jordan finally finds a pick. The impacts from DCH, kitchen control for Invictus. The pistol! DCH! It's just Speakeasy. He doesn't have anything left he can do. And in the Banshee, he will lose it. Elevates, step up on their map pick. They make the comeback dream happen and rocket us onto map 3. They're